Men, we are the ones who provide in the house. Like nowadays, we know both spouses, like if we are working, both of us, in terms of providing, I don't know, women, they have to choose the man themselves, or they have to bring it to the king.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, man of God. I think on the issue of finances, we tend to have a problem in instances where, let's say women, they've got businesses, they are making money. Let me also point to the fact that us as men, we are allowing them to run those businesses. Because if I say no, you are not going to run that business. But now, you find that there are cases where a woman has got money more than the men. And we are now facing issues of disrespect. You spoke of reverence. There are women who have got more money than the men. They tend to disrespect us. And as men, we find ourselves in situations where we maybe try, or we even fail to control them because they see themselves above us. And sometimes we end up just giving up to say, you know what, I can't stay with a woman like this. How do you advise in such a situation? Because these are things that are very prevalent, especially outside there, where most marriages are falling apart because women have more money than men, and now women look down upon their husbands, something like that.
Yes. Pastor, do you want to add on that?
Thank you, Apostle. Looking at what the man of God said from the beginning, reverence. Reverence, it doesn't matter that you have money or you don't have money. You just have to give honor where it is supposed to be given. So if your honor now comes because you have money, it's no longer honor. Because if money is now removed and you want to honor that man because you don't have money, it's now like takunyangirana. Ndinokuteerera nekuti une mari. Kana usina mari andigone kukuteerera. So I think reverence should be to a point that either my husband has money or he doesn't have. I just have to honor him. Whether he has, whether I have more, whether he has less, I have to honor him despite of the wealth. Thank you.
A wise woman, thank you, Pastor. A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one plucketh it down with her own hands. Yeah, so if God has given you the grace and the favor to make money in that particular season, now it requires wisdom from me as a wife that currently my husband is not working. I am the one who is working. So a wise woman would say, okay, this is what I have received. What are your suggestions when you are the one who is making more money than the husband? Did I? Raise a hand.
Thank you so much for the wise words and wisdom. But I'm coming from a different perspective. If you look at the age groups that are talking about money issues in families, they're young men. And most of them, that's where the prevalence of divorce is very high. But I'm talking from a work perspective. If you lead a team at work, you also want to create a relationship with them and open up. And there are not a lot of social support for men the world over. And to me, that's a sign that the boy child is crying, because you are told you should be strong. The woman is unruly. The world tells you it's your problem. You can't run your wife or your family. But my experience is at work, which has also shown that it then creeps into issues of mental health. A young man will come to you and then say, I can afford all the bills, but I've married a partner. But my wife tells me that your money is our money. My money is my money. And it's reality. I've got two guys who have said that. And you try to talk to them, but you see them being in a marriage, but not being there, because they are dying inside. And what the money is used, the husband doesn't know, but they will eventually find out, because there's no secrets in life. And they ordinarily want to budget with the young man. They make sure nothing goes to the man's family, because they're saying, we are a young family, let's do this, and the budget is spent. But meanwhile, the wife is also expending at her own family. So my thinking is possibly the church should be coming in handy with a program to help young men to maneuver around this, and young women. Fine, there are issues to do with counseling before marriage and within marriage. But some young men will never come to church, because the woman will be coming to church every Sunday, and he stays at home, but is not seeing good coming out of church as well. So it makes the church, but it also destroys the church. So at a practical perspective, the world, unfortunately or fortunately, has tended to protect the girl child so much, to an extent that the boy child is now in a way exposed. And you can pick it up from the age groups that have been talking about finances, and it's a very thorny issue, and I believe divorces will still continue, because no wonder why second and third marriages then survive, because the young woman would have learned then, and then they come right. But the first marriages are vulnerable to this scourge. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I wanted to tackle it in this regard, that now we are in the church, and the church has to chip in. So it means that wisdom is now needed on the woman who is making the money to keep her home. Right? I am making more than my spouse. So when I make the money, before I do ABC, we sit down and I hear his suggestions. What do you suggest? This is the money we have. What are your suggestions? Based on what is beneficiary for us as a family, for us as a home. I think that is the first step that we as women should take. If I want to keep my home, I want to keep. Another factor is that we women, we are many, men are scarce. So it needs wisdom for a woman to keep one. So if God has blessed me with capacity to make more money, then I need wisdom to keep the man. Right, that's if he's a sensible man, he's not lazy, he's sensible, and it's just a season, it's just a passing phase. Then I have to be wise to keep the relationship. When I make the money, we sit down, we discuss, what do you think? This is the money I have. What do you suggest as the authority of the house?
All right. I hope you will hear me well. The problem is not money. The problem is that the marriage never had a relationship and good communication before money. Money came and triggered a problem that was already there. before you have money, as you are now, before you get a work as you are now, in the condition that you are, do you sit down and have a relationship and talk in general and laugh in general and talk about the future when you are broke and plan about tomorrow when you have nothing? You see now, if you now want to start to discuss about how to spend money when it's now there, when you have never had a relationship before it was there, this is where the problem comes in, where we end up saying you are now doing this because you now have money. So I want to keep it very, very, very careful the way we handle that. That's why we come together to learn as couples now. That's what we are trying to work on. You and your wife, you must have a relationship outside of things. Very tight relationship, conversations, talking, laughing, planning, even with nothing, planning. You know, if we have money, you know, if we get blessed, you know, if God blesses us, you know. And then when it comes, so God has blessed you, God has blessed me, so what can we do together? Let's do this together. Let's do this together. It's very easy to work together when you have been together all along. When you try to be together, when there are now things, they won't glue you. You'll be still having a problem. So to answer that question of now she's working or now he's working, now he has money and then this, the problem didn't start there, my dear. The problem long started before money. There was never a togetherness in the home. What has to be built at the beginning is that fellowship, where we are just together, where we talk, where we plan, where we take a drive together, we take a walk together, and we discuss about our future, about our tomorrow. That's why many married couples are growing broke, because they discuss nothing. So, in terms of now, many children, many men are crying foul in marriages. It's coming back to the point of that when you marry or when you want to get married, you need to be sure you know what you're doing. That covenant involves a lot of things. It involves long suffering. It involves coming down. It involves humility. It involves sometimes putting aside what I know and bringing together thoughts. And it takes time. It takes time. So, be careful not to seal your marriage on money. That's why I'm not personally not really moved that much, even if my wife has money or what, because we have really suffered together tremendously. That when we get blessed, those things don't move us. We are moved by our relationship. What I have, she has. What she has, I have. If I see God blessing her, I'm happy. If she sees God blessing me, she's happy. We are not moved by those things. So the point yangu is that don't let things move your home. Don't let money move your relationship. Have a relationship outside of money. And I pray that you start now before your wife gets a job, or before your wife has money, or before your wife gets blessed. Start. Because when God blesses, you know, sometimes God can bless your spouse more than you.